Hi, welcome to this week's worship tip. This is a continuation on how we know in part and see in part, and that's why we should refrain from speaking our opinions or passing judgments on other worship teams and other churches, and allow the Holy Spirit to simply direct you and I in what we're called to do. See, this requires that we walk in humility. That means that we understand that we don't know it all. We don't have it all figured out. We are simply trying to do our very best in the situation to which we are called. See, humility understands that God is God alone and you and I are not. We know in part. We see in part. We don't have the full picture in mind. He alone is El Elyon, the highest of all. He sees the end from the beginning. But you and I do not. And as we're instructed in Romans 12, the body is made up of many parts. And so each worship team, each church, we're going to be unique, different. We're going to have our own special calling and roles to fulfill. And that's awesome. That's beautiful, because we're not called to be uniform. We're called to be united in Christ, to be one as He and the Father are one. So as we are beginning to get back into resuming church life and opening up, whatever phase you might be in the place where you live, please let us not judge what other churches and worship teams are doing. However, let us seek the Lord and let us do what we can to walk in obedience and in humility. Let's build each other up, not tear each other down. Let's encourage one another in this new season the church is in. Let us not pass our own opinions onto one another. And this brings me to a final thought. Let's stop posting those opinions on social media. It doesn't help. It's not edifying. And it really gives us a bad reputation to those who are outside of the family of God, wondering why we are so critical and harsh towards each other. Instead, let us walk in humility. Let us walk in love.